Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So we are going to be doing a stitch pattern, and I am using an end hook or 9mm hook. I've got a rubber band on the end to keep my stitches on. And the yarn I am using, I actually have a yarn label. So it's from Lion Brand. It's Hometown USA. Somebody just gave this to me, so I thought it would be fun to use it for this. And this is number 6 yarn, and they're calling it super bulky. So to do this stitch pattern, you're going to need to chain a multiple of 3. So I already went ahead and chained 12. So for row 1, we're going to just pull up loops like we normally do. This is our setup row, so I'm turning my chain over in the second chain from my hook. I'm working in that back bump, and we're just pulling up loops. So Tunisian crochet, if you've never done it before, each row is worked in 2 parts. The first row is the forward pass. That means we are putting our stitches on our hook, and the second part of our row, we are taking our stitches off, and then each part is 1 row. Okay, so I have my 12 loops on my hook, so whatever you chained is the amount that you have on your hook. So now we're going to work the second part of row 1, which is called the return pass. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet, I do have a complete playlist that goes over the basics. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. This yarn was splitting. Let me see if I can fix it. Alright, did we fix it? Yes, we fixed it. I'm not used to working with bulky yarn, so I figured I would do something different. Alright, so there is our row 1, which is our setup row. So now we're going to begin row 2. So this stitch pattern that we're doing will be an 8-row repeat. So that kind of sounds like a lot, but we're just repeating rows. It really isn't that bad. So let's begin row 2. So row 2, we are going to work a purl stitch in that first vertical bar right there. So our yarn's in front, and we're working that purl stitch. So if you've never done a Tunisian purl stitch before, that is in the playlist. So for our next stitch, we're going to skip the next vertical bar and work Tunisian simple in the next one. And now we're going to go back into that vertical bar we skipped and work Tunisian simple. And again, that is in the playlist. I'm not used to this yarn. It is definitely a splitty yarn, but I think it'll be pretty. All right, so we're going to repeat that across. So you're going to work purl, Tunisian purl, skip the next Tunisian, or skip the next vertical bar, work Tunisian simple in the next one, and then go back in the one we skipped and work Tunisian simple, which stitch gets tight. There we go. Alright, so this last stitch, it looks like a chain. We're going to insert our hook into that chain, pull up our loop, and we still have 12 loops on our hook. We're going to work these off by yarning over, pulling through 1, yarning over, pulling through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so now we are going to work row 3. So row 3, we're going to skip that first vertical bar and work Tunisian simple in the next one. And now we're going to go back in the one we skipped and work Tunisian simple. Now we're working a purl stitch. And we're going to skip the next vertical bar, work Tunisian simple in the next. So we're working a Tunisian cross stitch here. We're just crossing over. So we're going back in the one we skipped, working Tunisian simple, and now we work the purl stitch. So we repeat that across until we have 2 stitches left. So we have 2 stitches left. So we have this vertical bar and then that stitch here that looks like a chain. So in that second to last vertical bar, you're working Tunisian simple, and then we work in that stitch that looks like a chain, put our hook through there and pull up our loop. So now we just work these off like we normally do. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so let's begin row 4. So row 4, we're going to be repeating row 2. So that first stitch, Tunisian purl, yarn in front, working that purl stitch, and then we skip our next vertical bar and work Tunisian simple in the next one, and then work Tunisian simple in the one we skipped, and we just repeat that across. So we have purl, skip a stitch, Tunisian simple in the next, Tunisian simple in the skipped stitch, and we just keep repeating across. And we work that purl stitch in the second to last stitch and work in that stitch that looks like a chain. And we work off our stitches like normal. Alright, so there is row 4. So row 5, we're going to be repeating row 3, and row 6, we also are going to be repeating row 3. Okay, so I finished up row 6. So let's begin row 7. So row 7, we're going to be repeating row 2. So our first stitch is going to be Tunisian purl. So then row 8, we are going to be repeating row 3. So row 8, we just repeated row 3. So row 9, we're going to be repeating row 2. So that's the Tunisian purl in that first stitch, and skipping the next vertical bar, working Tunisian simple. And then we just work these guys off like normal. So then you will repeat rows 2 through 9 for however long you want your swatch, and you will end on a row 8, and then the bind off we will work in pattern. So we will still be doing a row 9, we're just going to be doing it when we bind off. So there we go. Now I would not overthink this. So it is a lot of rows for the repeat, but just think of, so rows 2 through 5, so you have row 2, row 3, and then rows 4 and 5, you repeat row 2, row 5, you repeat row 3. So then we flip it on its head, so it's 2, 3, 2, 3. And then row 6, you're going to be, instead of keeping on with 2, 3, 2, 3, you're going to be doing 3, 2, 3, 2 for 4 rows. And to count your rows, as you can clearly see, when you turn it on its side, it looks like the tops of crochet stitches, regular ones, and you can just easily count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's kind of, if you lose track, you can be like, okay, so this is 2, 3, this is row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I hope that helps you out. So I'm going to go work a few more rows and then we'll do the bind off and I will meet you back. Alright, so here is my swatch and I've worked 16 rows. So we need to bind off doing a row 9. So that is doing a row 2. So we're going to do a purl stitch for our first stitch in bind off, and if you're not familiar with bind off, it is in that playlist. So we're working that bind off. So we're going to continue to bind off in pattern. We're going to skip the next stitch and work in the next vertical bar, working Tunisian simple. And we're going to go in the one we skipped and work Tunisian simple. And we're just going to continue across, working Tunisian purl. And you just want to have a very relaxed hand when you do this so that the stitches don't get too tight. And then we go work in that stitch that looks like a chain. Bind that guy off and we're all set. So there you go. So I think it's a really nice stitch pattern. It definitely lays flat. I did do another one working the same amount of rows, just using worsted weight yarn and number 4 yarn. Yeah, I use this hook, which is K 6.5 millimeter hook. So you can see the difference in when using a smaller hook and thinner yarn. But again, this one lays flat where a lot of Tunisian projects do not lay flat, so this is a good one. I think it would be nice for a lot of projects, you know, blankets, hats, scarves, you know, whatever you wanted to use it for. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.